For 3 weeks every May, the elite of men's cycling head to Italy for an event proudly billed as the toughest race in the world's most beautiful place. Famed for its steep climbs and passionate fans, the Giro d'Italia sees the biggest names in professional road cycling fighting it out for the iconic Maglia Rosa, the pink jersey worn by the race leader. Whilst the Tour de France is cycling's most famous stage race, the Giro is arguably tougher to win and provides a sterner test of man and bike. Michele Acquaroni is the Giro's race director.
Without any doubt, I can call this the biggest happening in Italy. Every year it's like having a world championship in Italy. But a cycling world championship is unique, as it also shows the beauty of our landscape to the entire world. So, for a month, Italy takes great pride in showing its natural beauty, to be admired and enjoyed by fans all over the world.
Originally an event dominated by Italian riders, the Giro now attracts the best pro cyclists from around the globe. The race also draws knowledgeable and passionate cycling fans in their thousands, making it a firm favourite amongst the peloton.
If we're talking about the professionals, they love the Giro d'Italia because it's a race where they eat great food, where they find a very passionate public, and because it's a spectacular race. The fans also love the Giro because it's spectacular, and because it's unpredictable. Every day something unique happens. And without a doubt, the locations present amazingly beautiful stages every day. So it's an amazing 21 days of great classics in Italy.
The Giro is the first of the year's Grand Tours, followed by the Tour de France and the Vuelta a España, with each one featuring over 3,300 kilometres of racing. Few riders attempt two in a season, whilst only 32 professional riders in the sport's history have completed all three in the same year. As the sport's elite wind their way along the roads of northern Italy in this year's Giro, one man is attempting to become the first amateur cyclist to achieve that impressive feat. For the past 2 weeks, Australia's Keith Tuffley has been cycling every stage of this year's Giro on the same day as the professionals, only hours ahead of the main peloton. Over the next 5 months, he'll spend a total of 63 days on his bike as he attempts to tackle every kilometre and every stage of cycling's 3 Grand Tours.
Yeah, well, it's quite daunting. Each race is around 3,300, 3,500 kilometres. So it's 10,500 kilometres in total. Each race has around 40 to 50,000 vertical metres of climbing. So that's 140, 150,000 metres of climbing, which incidentally is, space starts 100 kilometres from Earth. So in fact, you think about the atmosphere and just how close space is. In effect, I'm climbing from here into space in vertical metres. It is daunting. I think actually the one that scares me the most is the Vuelta, because it's hot. You know, it's in late August, and from all accounts, it's a really hot event. So I'm a bit scared about that one.
Having cycled the route of the Tour de France in 2011 and the Giro last year, the 48-year-old is well aware of the demands posed by the world's greatest cycle races. However, just being able to ride the same routes as the professionals is a rare opportunity, and Keith enjoys the thrill of experiencing the stages firsthand, particularly here at the Giro.
It's just an amazing experience to be involved with such a passionate race. Now, having seen the Tour de France, which I love, it's big, it's exciting, it's brash. Thousands of people on the road. I mean, literally on somewhere like Alpe d'Huez, there must be nearly 1 million people on that one mountain viewing the race. The Giro is a friendlier race. It's definitely smaller. There's a lot of passion from all the villages you pass through, but it creates a more intimate feel. Extremely friendly. You know, the RCS people who organised the Giro have been incredibly supportive for what I'm doing. And so it really is an event, a spectacle and a race that is quite distinctly different from the Tour de France and, for that matter, the Vuelta. So I love it. I really love the Giro d'Italia.
Whilst the professional riders racing La Cosa Rosa have a caravan of support staff, as well as their teammates to help them through the stages, Keith is tackling each one by himself. As well as the huge physical challenges posed by the Giro's tough mountain climbs, cycling hundreds of kilometres on your own every day can place huge demands on a rider's mental strength.
What do the cyclists think of me? Generally, the ones that I've spoken with think that I'm insane. There's no doubt about it. They look at me and think, what? You're doing it by yourself and, you know, without a peloton? And I think that's what the big difference is. They've got, you know, 200 cyclists around them. Now they're focused on a race, and there's a different mentality and a different event. But they've got up to 200 people to speak with on some of these long days, whereas I don't. But I've also found it's not just the mountains that are tough, it's actually some of those really long, hot, flat days can be even tougher for me when you're out there by yourself.
Although Keith's Giro is undoubtedly more of a journey than a race, his performance each day is still boosted by the support of the crowds lining the streets along the route.
It makes all the difference, absolutely. It's, you know, to have people cheering you on and smiling, and it's really nice to be able to chat with other cyclists and cycle with them. But having the people around, and especially the passionate people that love the cycle, they love the spectacle, and cheering you on, it makes all the difference to both the mental attitude and therefore your physical performance as well. You know, it keeps the mind off the pain, and you're able just to enjoy it, soak up the atmosphere and enjoy the whole event.
Whilst completing all 3 Grand Tours would represent a huge personal achievement, the challenge is not just about Keith's individual goal. Having raised funds for environmental causes on his previous Grand Tour adventure, the aim of this particular journey is to use cycling to promote the wider cause of sustainability.
You know, the concept of cycling is an extremely efficient way to travel. You're close to nature, you're close to people. It's a fun way of being involved with the local community. It keeps you fit. You know, so it's got very strong links to the whole philosophy and approach to sustainability. You know, you don't need to get in your large car and fill it up with petrol to go to the shops. You can get in your bike and do that. And if we all did that, you know, the world would be a better place.
As this year's Giro d'Italia builds to a climax, Keith has already ridden well over 2,000 kilometres and tackled some of the steepest mountain climbs in professional cycling. Although he won't be receiving a pink jersey at the race's end, Keith Tuffley remains well on course to achieve his goal.
I am confident, but there are some risks. I mean, certainly, look, the physical aspect, I think I'm fine. I think I'm strong enough, and I think I've been training enough years in cycling to do it. Keeping in mind, I'm not racing it, I'm journeying it. But I'm confident. Incidentally, of the 32 people who have done it, one guy has done it 4 times. 4 times he has completed all 3 Grand Tours in the 1 year. He's Spanish. I'm actually keen to meet him. But yeah, no, it's a nice thing to aim for.